morning everybody. Today I take your literature class, and in the previous day I have already completed chapter 2, that is poem The Months. Today I repeat chapter 3. I start chapter 3. In the previous classes I have already given you explained the story and given you question answers and others exercises. Today I again explain the story, and the name of the story is The Boy Who Served His Tribe. That is, this story is about a Chippewa tribe and who lived in a wigwam in the woods of North America. Where the North American lived, that is called wigwam. So now I start to read the stories. The Boy Who Served His Tribe. That is, long ago, you follow your book. Long ago, there was a family of the Chippewa tribe who lived in a wigwam in the woods of North America. So long ago, the tribe Chippewa lived in a wigwam in the woods of North America. Mother and father, brothers and sisters were all very happy and contented, for they loved the good things of the earth. They loved the sunshine, the forest and the cool spring of water. But they were often cold and hungry, for at this time the Chippewa people did not know about growing corn. Instead, they lived only by hunting. But the family of Chippewa people, who are the family members, mother and father, brothers and sisters, they are very happy. It is a very happy family. They always engage themselves with enjoy and merriment. They loved, why? They loved the sunshine, the forest and the cool springs of water. But they were often very dissatisfied and hungry, because they lived their life lived only by hunting. Because why? Because they did not know how to grow corn. Okay. Now, when boys, there was a custom in that tribe. What is the custom? Now, when boys of this tribe reached at age of 14, it was the custom for them to go onto some lonely place without food, so that they could be alone for several days and think about the life which lay ahead of them. So there was a custom that when the boys were at the age of 14, they had to go to the forest, lonely place, and they had to spend their life with fasting, without any food, so that they could be alone for several days and think about the life which lay ahead of them. The time came in this family, the time came for the eldest son of the family to carry out this custom. And there was a time when the custom was called down on the eldest son of his family. "Come with me, my son," said his father. The two of them walked far into the woods together. There the father built a little wigwam for his son. So when the eldest son was at his age of 14, his father called him to go to the lonely place. And then the eldest boy and his father went to the lonely forest and lived there for fasting. "You will be here for 7 days without food," he told the boy. "At the end of that time, I will return for you and bring you food. While you are here, you should pray to the Great Spirit that he will send you a gift for the whole tribe." Then his father told him that he had to spend in the forest for 7 days without any food, and he will return, and at the end of the fasting, his father would come back to him and give him food. And during this time, he had to pray to the God for something good for them, for the whole tribe. Left alone, the boy sat for a while and thought, what would he pray to during his would. But the boy did not know how he would to pray to his God. Perhaps he should pray that his tribe would win glory in battle, or should he pray that he would enjoy good hunting or be saved great wealth. He would think, what did he pray to the God? Something he should be pray that he would enjoy good hunting or saying good art, and he would pray to the God for the for the win of the battle. Now, no, he thought. He would ask only that life for his tribe be made in some way a little less hard. And so he began to pray to the great spirit. That is, at last he thought upon his mind that he would pray to the God for the benefit, for the blessing of his whole tribe. Okay, a day passed, another, the boy continued to pray and he ate nothing. And with fasting, the boy continued to pray to the God for the blessing, for the blessing of his tribe, and with fasting. And during this time, he ate nothing. By the time the third day came, he was weak from lack of food. All he could do now was to lie inside his wigwam in a kind of dream. That is, within the first day, second day had gone away, and then come to the third day, and he feels weakness due to the lack of the food, and all he could do was to lie inside his wigwam in a kind of dream. All at once, the curtains at the same time, the curtains were parted, and the young warrior entered into the house. And what is his dress? His plumes, that is his feathers of his hat was green, and headdress were green. Everything which he wear, everything was green. Plumes and moccasins and his cloak, all were green. When he spoke, his voice was like the rush of the wind through the trees. What was his voice like? His voice was like the rush of the wind through the trees. The Great Spirit has heard your prayers. The warrior said to the boy, I have come to test your courage, stand up. Then the stranger who entered into the house, he said to the boy in a loud voice that the Great Spirit had heard your prayers, and I would come to test your strength, to test his courage. That's why the warrior came to him to test his courage. Trembling a little, the boy stood up. The boy then stood up, trembling. He was very much afraid to hear the words of the warrior. Now wrestle with me, said the stranger. Then the stranger told him to wrestle to him. And so the two of them began to wrestle, and they struggled together for a long time in silence. In silence, they were wrestling for a long time. At last the warrior said, that's enough for today. I will come back tomorrow. And at a certain time he stopped his wrestling and told him that that is the end of the day, and again he come back tomorrow. The next evening the curtains of the wigwam parted again, and the warrior was back. Again the boy wrestled with him, and although he had felt so weak before the stranger came that he could scarcely stand, as soon as he touched the green plumed warrior, he became strong. And with the lack of food, on the second day he feels very weak, and he had no power, he was incapable to stand on. Then, but when he touched the plumes of the warrior, he became strong. Good, said the warrior at the end, you have done well, I will come back tomorrow. Then the warrior told him that he had done well, and he told him he would come back the next day. And so each evening it was the same. The stranger in the green headdress and moccasins and cloak came, and the boy's strength returned as soon as he touched him. Each evening they wrestled. In this procedure, each evening the boy and the stranger were engaged themselves into wrestling, and day after day he saw his good approach, good appearance, good performance. By the seventh evening, the boy was utterly exhausted from a lack of food. When the stranger came in, he managed to pull himself in his feet. As usual, the two of them began to wrestle. On the seventh day, the boy was utterly exhausted from lack of food. He was then exhausted, lack of food. He was very exhausted, irritated. Then when the stranger came, he managed to pull himself. He managed to pull himself in his feet. Then, as usual, the two of them began to wrestle. Then they began to wrestle. Once again, as soon as they came to grips, the boy felt his strength come back. It's strange, he thought, but tonight I think I could even throw the stranger to the ground. He thought upon his mind that he would fail the stranger in the ground. So well did the boy wrestle, and indeed he threw the man to the ground. And at a time, in the last day, he fell down, still on the ground. And the boy knelt down by his side. To his utter horror, he saw that the warrior was about to die. That is, at that time he fell down, the warrior, and he was very afraid of him, and he saw that the warriors were about to die. Not died, actually he was about to die. The man smiled at him, but the man was not died at all. He smiled to look at the boy, and he smiled at him. You must not be sad, he said, and you must not grieve for me. You shall see my green plumes again. But if you wish to see them, this is what you must do. Bury me and keep my grave covered with fresh, damp earth. When I have slept a good sleep, I will break through the earth and return to the sunshine. That he gives some instruction at that time. He told the boy that he did not show his grievance, show his sadness for his death, and he shall see his plumes. Again he saw the plumes of the warrior. But if he wished to see them, this is what he must do. He instructed him to bury him and to cover his grave with fresh, damp earth. And when he has slept a good sleep, he will break through the earth and return to the sunshine. He instructed him in this way. So the warrior breathed his last. And saying these words to the boy, the warrior breathed his last. He died. With a heavy heart, the boy carried out all his instructions. No sooner had the boy finished burying the stranger than he looked up and saw his father coming towards him through the woods. As soon as he, word by word, he followed the instruction of the stranger, and as soon as he finished his burying the stranger, he saw that at the farthest corner of the forest, his father came to him. See, my son, I have come to fetch you, said his father, and I have brought you food. Eat, and your strength will soon return. His father told him that at the end of the fasting day he would come. So these things happened. He had come to fetch him and give him some food and told him to eat them. And when the boy had eaten and regained his strength, they went home together to the family and to everyday life. And began, after eating some food, he got his strength, got back his strength, and he with his father returned to his home. But the boy did not forget his friend with green plumes, and he never forgot to visit the grave and to eat it and water it. But in spite of that, he returned to his home. Every day he went to the graveyard, and he weeds, he weed it and water it every day. And the boy, but he did not tell these things to anyone, even his father. The boy told nobody about what he was doing, not even the members of his own family. He was afraid that if he told people about the warrior and his visits, he would say that he had dreamed it all, because he had never so weak for lack of food. That is, he did not tell anything about these happenings with the stranger to his family members and except his friends also, because he thought that everybody thought that he told a lie, because he became weak, and it was nothing but a dream to him. So then one day the boy was coming home from a week's hunting trip after a hunting one day. So now I complete the explanation of this story, and next day I explained the remaining portion of the story and question answer also. Okay, thank you.